Okay, so on number 5, hopefully you recognized that we had opposite signs. We had a negative and a positive, and when we have different signs, we actually have to subtract and keep the sign of the higher number. So in this case, our answer will be positive, and we're really doing 3 1/2 minus 1 2/3, because 3 is the whole number, is bigger than 1, so we're going to do the big minus the small. And if we change our fractions to have like denominators, the common denominator here is going to be 6. So I'm going to multiply 3 by 2, and then I'm going to multiply 2 by 3. So I'm going to even kind of reverse my order here. 3 3/6 minus 1 4/6. And this is actually a little bit tricky, so I was kind of testing your prerequisite knowledge. What do you know about fractions? What do you understand about them? Because, yeah, we can do 3 minus 1, but we cannot do 3/6 minus 4/6. It doesn't work. 3 minus 4... we're going to have a negative fraction and a positive whole number. And so what actually has to happen here is we have to do what we call borrow. So we're going to change the 3 to a 2 as a whole number. And then I'm going to add 6/6 to 3/6 because 6/6 is one whole. And so I've got 2 9/6 minus 1 4/6. And now I can do my subtraction. 2 minus 1 is 1, and 9 minus 4 is 5. Keep my denominator of 6. My bigger number was positive, so my answer is positive here, and I'm getting 1 5/6 as my answer. On this next one, hopefully the first thing you did was just make common denominators all the way through. And so I recognize that 8, 4, and 2 can all go into 8, so I'm going to make a common denominator of 8. 1 1/8 will stay the same. Plus, I'm going to multiply 1/4 by 2 over 2, so I get negative 3 2/8. Plus 1/2, I have to multiply my denominator by 4, so I'm going to multiply my numerator by 4. 1 times 4 is 4, 2 times 4 is 8. And now you kind of have two options here. You can either go left to right, or the commutative property of addition says that we can go in any order. Sometimes it's easier for me to just add the positive numbers first. So 1 1/8 plus 4/8 is 1 5/8, plus negative 3 2/8. Again, I've got opposite signs, so I'm going to have to subtract here. And when I subtract 3 minus 1, I can get 2, but I cannot do 2 minus 5. I'm going to have to do that little borrowing trick again. So this is actually 1 5/8 plus negative 2. This becomes a 2 as a whole number. And I add 8/8 over here to add a whole number to my fraction. And I get 10/8. And so now I've got 2 minus 1 is 1. And 10 minus 5 is 5. Keep my denominator of 8. And keep the sign of the higher number, in this case is negative. So 1 1/8 plus negative 3 1/4 plus 1/2 is negative 1 5/8. Now, had we done the stuff in order, it actually might have ended up being easier because 3 minus 1 is 2, and then 2 minus 1 is 8, or 1/8. So we had negative 2 1/8. But then plus 4, we still would have had to borrow at the end, I guess. So either way, it doesn't matter. But both answers should get you down to negative 1 5/8. And so here we not only worked on adding mixed numbers, but we also worked on doing some borrowing techniques to make our whole numbers one less and make our fractions one whole bigger by adding the denominator to the numerator, because 6/6 is a whole, or over here 8/8 is one whole. So I took one whole from my whole number and added the fraction 8/8 to my fraction to make this possible to do my subtraction as I needed to here.